Hey there, thanks for watching. My name is Christiana and this channel is The Well-Behaved Wallet, where my mission is to help you love the life you have while building the life of your dreams. Today I'm coming at you with my 5 no-fail tips to get or stay fit over the holidays. These have totally worked for me and I'm really excited to share them with you. So if you're interested in that, stick around. To give you a little bit of background on me and my fitness and health journey, I am not someone who is naturally slender. I was a sturdy child growing up. I was a hearty child. I liked to eat. I was pretty active. I'm not super coordinated, so I wasn't really into sports, but I was not, I tended toward the more solid build as opposed to the like thinner build. My mom is of Swedish and Czech descent, so her stock is big and hearty. She's fairly small and never had to worry about her weight. My dad is Korean, so his side is very slender, but he's got a very athletic build. But despite that, I definitely inherited the Swedish sort of like stocky genes, so that is my natural tendency. So I just want to say that to be like, this is not something that comes naturally to me. I have had to work at it and discipline myself and learn how to work with my body to be at my best fitness and health performance. So this is something that I've really had to make a commitment to. That said, I've developed some routines and tricks and sort of habits that have really worked for me as far as fitness is concerned, and I feel like I'm at a place with my body and my health sort of discipline journey that's where I feel really good about myself in my body, and I've learned how to sort of calibrate if I start to go off course a little bit depending on what's going on around me. This has been over really my lifetime since I was 18. But more recently, in the past 10 years, I've gone from a higher weight. So I'll tell you, I'm 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", depending on the day, and my natural set point is around 150 pounds. Which puts me at a BMI of about 23, which is right on the borderline of healthy and sort of overweight. My highest weight was like 162, and my lowest adult weight was 129, and that was under not healthy circumstances. I had some, like I wasn't able to eat for a while. I just couldn't keep anything down, and it was not the best deal. So that said, I would not want to be back there, but I have learned over the past 10 years, I've gone from my set point of about 150, 155 down to about 145. So I've lost and kept off 10 pounds over the past 5-6 years. And these are the tips I use to do it and make sure that I maintain my weight at that level. Tip number 1 is to have a core diet to return to in the midst of all the sort of fun, festive holiday gatherings that are going on, because there are going to be parties and things that, you know, where you're going to want to allow yourself to have a little bit of fun and to indulge in new foods and maybe old favorites, maybe some comfort foods, but it's important for me to have a core diet that I know I can get back on the wagon with, and I actually enjoy returning to because I know that it works for me and my personal fitness goals. So what that looks like as far as my personal nutrition goes is I like to focus on vegetables and protein, and this is kind of basic nutrition science. Anyone with a nutrition background will tell you that that's really the way to go, focusing on the vegetables and lean protein to keep you full and satisfied longer. So for me, what that looks like is for a lunch, I'll have something like a romaine or a type of a lettuce background. Romaine, arugula, and iceberg are my favorites, and I'll put some lean protein on top of that, either turkey, chicken, fish, or sometimes roast beef. And I'll add in healthy fats like mayo or avocado, and that'll be lunch. And then dinner will be something like steamed veggies. I've been a fan of like the cauliflower and broccoli blends lately, so I'll steam that, and then I'll add in a little bit more protein like chicken, fish, chicken or fish, sometimes, very rarely, steak or pork for dinner. And that's the nutrition that I return to because I know, again, that that works for me, that it tastes good, and that it keeps me full, and that it helps me reach my nutritional goals. So I allow myself to have fun during those holiday gatherings and indulge in those foods, but I know that I have a routine that works for me that I can return to when I get back, and so I can enjoy those foods without guilt, knowing that I have this healthy, solid, stable routine that will be waiting for me as soon as I decide to go back to it. Tip number 2 is to watch the time of day when you're eating. I've done some experimenting and sort of played around with this to figure out what works best for my body. And I've discovered through trial and error that it usually works best for me to wait until noon to eat my first meal and then to stop eating after about 8 p.m. And this is just kind of my normal routine. Of course, there will be exceptions from time and again, especially during the holidays, but I know that this is the routine that I can return to that works best for me and allows me to maintain my sort of peak functioning capacity. And I've also found that usually a lot of the undisciplined eating will happen after these hours. If I'm doing some eating that's not very beneficial, it's usually going to be after 8 p.m. You know, it's that like late night mindless eating or snacking that I don't have to be doing, but I just feel like, doing for fun. But it doesn't serve me nutritionally, or having something really high calorie in the morning that makes me feel sluggish throughout the day. So again, this has been trial and error through my own sort of personal research that I've developed this system for myself. And I know now it's very kind of widely accepted to call this intermittent fasting, and it's like not a big deal. People do it all the time. But when I was experimenting with this 5 years ago, it was a little bit more unusual. There really wasn't a name for it. It was just called skipping breakfast and not eating after dinner. But it's something that's been pretty popular in lately, has been gaining traction, and I'm really glad because I think it's very beneficial. And I've had friends and acquaintances that have also done the same thing with really good results. So this is something that I highly recommend, is to put boundaries on your eating time. Tip number 3 is to hydrate. This is one of my favorite and often one of the easiest things to do. I love drinking water. I love the feeling of water, but it can be a little more difficult if you don't love the taste of water, but it's so important. So I have this water bottle that I bought at the beginning of the year. I just got this water bottle that's an auto-locking function that it prevents like spillage in your bag, which is fantastic. I bought this after this one totally tipped over and got everything wet. And I recommend them both. I will put links in the down bar. I just like fancy things to carry water around in because I hydrate so much. It's such a big part of what's allowed me to, again, get to my peak fitness operating capacity. And it's something that I'm really committed to. And it's something that is kind of very, very widely accepted as a good thing to do if you're looking to maintain or moderate your weight. Another thing that I've started doing just in the past year and a half is drinking a lot of tea. And I find that strangely, my weight goes down in relative to the amount of tea that I consume. So if I consume more tea, I've noticed my weight kind of tends to decrease, and I'm not mad about that. So I've been drinking a lot more tea lately as well. So something about hydrating, I'll just share that for me, it makes me, I think of it as kind of being a very chic thing, not chic thing, but something that a lot of people do, like movie actresses and such will hydrate. And in the movie, it's a French movie. My wife is an actress. So it's Charlotte Gainsbourg is a famous actress, and she's married to a sports commentator, just kind of a regular guy. And they're at dinner, and she's always getting up to go to the bathroom because she drinks 18 pints of water to maintain her figure. And that's like one of the things her husband complains about. It's like, oh, she's always going to the bathroom because she drinks all this water to maintain her figure. And so for me, that seemed like a very chic thing to do, to drink all this water to maintain your figure. So that's what I do, and that's a tip that I share. Now, this I know won't work so well if you're traveling or if you're in a car or on a plane, but realize that's going to be a very small portion of your overall time in general of your day. Yes, it's going to be annoying for maybe a day or two, but really get back on the wagon. Make that a point to add more water into your routine. Even if you are traveling or away, it will help you. It will help refresh your skin. For me, it helps refresh just everything about me. So if I make drinking water a priority, I know that my health is going to follow very shortly after. Tip number 4 is to exercise every day, even if it's a little bit. And this is something that I used to do in the past that I've kind of fallen off doing on the daily, which is something that I aim to get back to. But I do have a very standard weekly routine. I have a class that I take every week, and that is enough for me at this point to maintain sort of my baseline fitness. But if I really wanted to step it up a notch, I would exercise every single day. and it doesn't have to be a lot. For me, I've found that it's more the will to do it than the actual exercise itself. And I've put that as number 4 because I feel like exercise is more mental than anything. If you're looking to lose weight or maintain your weight, that's really going to come more from nutrition. Exercise will help raise your metabolism, boost your mood, and do all these other beneficial things, but it's not necessarily the thing that's going to make the biggest difference in terms of moving the scale in one direction or the other. So when I say a little bit, I mean just a little bit, just something. So what I used to do was I do like 30 sit-ups and like a quick cardio routine. I do like 10 jumping jacks before I got in the shower. So again, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to register in my brain that this is something I'm going to do to set my day on the right trajectory. And it works every time to kind of help point me in the right direction for the rest of the day. So tip number 4 that I can't recommend enough is to exercise, do something every day. Tip number 5, and this can be the most painful but the most helpful, is to write down everything you eat and do in a day. And this is something that I have done on and off for years, and I'm talking like maybe 10 or 15 years. I go back and forth between using an app and using pen and paper, but pen and paper has really worked the best, and it's just easier to jot stuff down. It's maybe not the most convenient to carry around with you, but it really gives an accurate picture of exactly what I'm doing day to day and helps me see trends. And if I'm starting to tick up on the scales, I really look at what I'm eating and say, let me be honest with myself. It may be time to recalibrate. So this is an old notebook that I've used, and I've actually just dug out another notebook that I'm planning on using over this holiday season because I've kind of noticed that I'm getting a little bit fuller with my meals. My meals are getting a little bit bigger. We just had our work Thanksgiving potluck, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, knowing that I have these sort of core principles to return to after this one particular event is over. I will jump right back into those core principles that have worked for me, and my next task is to write down exactly what I ate and to track how much exercise I did. I just got off the treadmill where I did 30 minutes of walking, just 30 minutes, and at like 4 miles an hour, so it was only 2 miles that I walked. But again, it's those little teeny tiny incremental differences that make such a big difference, and that really helps set you on a good trajectory. These are my 5 tips for staying fit and healthy over the holiday season. This is what works for me and what I'm going to be doing to help me navigate those food-based celebrations that are going to come up over this time of the year. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that this is going to be your healthiest holiday season. Let me know in the comments below what you're planning on doing to stay healthy or get healthy or keep yourself on a good track as far as your nutrition and exercise are concerned. And as always, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll keep watching. Bye.